Right, hi, my name is Kwakukumi of Let's Learn Akan Twi, and on this channel we're into the reading, we're into the writing, speaking of the Akan Twi language. And so if you want to learn how to read and write or speak the Akan Twi language, catch us live this and every week, so that you can ask any question concerning the Akan Twi language. Anything you don't understand, just catch us live here every week. Ask your question and definitely we will answer for you. First of all, you have to subscribe to this channel if you've not yet done so. Also, you can comment, you can like and share our videos with those who are interested. All right, today we are looking at the usage of personal pronouns in the subject and object position. How we use, pronouns, how we use personal pronouns in sentences, how we use personal pronouns in the subject position of a sentence and the object position of a sentence. So first and foremost, let's look at this chart. This is the personal pronoun chart. This is subject. This is object. So we have subject, okay. We have person. We have first. We have second. Then we have third person. So this is the chart I want you to note. We have the subject and the object and the persons. We have the first person, second person, and third person. And with the subject position, we will look at this subject in the singular and the plural form. And object, we will look at the same thing, object in the singular and the plural form. So first person, in the subjective case, in the singular form, is me, as in I. Then the plural is ye, as in we. I've placed this n in a parenthesis, and the reason is that in the subject case, mostly the n is deleted. Is usually deleted. That is why I've placed this in a parenthesis, and so you will get more into that. And so this is the subject, this is I, me, and this is we, ye. So if I have let's say if I'm the only person, that's the first person. I is the first person, and if I have other people with me or other persons, then we. That is ye. Okay. And with the object case, it's the same thing. It's me and the same ye. We should remember that the subject and the object personal pronouns is almost the same in Akan. Yeah, unlike the other languages in English where we have some variations, but it's almost the same. And with the second person, we have wo, and the plural is mo. The same thing applies to the object, wo and mo. And with the third person, we have ono or eno. And with this one too, I'll place this, the no, in parentheses, because usually this is elated. The no is elated. And the plural is one. And remember, in Akan, we don't distinguish between gender. Talking about third person, subject and object. We don't distinguish between, gender, but we distinguish between animate and inanimate. So, unlike English, we have he, she, it. Distinguishing he and she. But in English, the animate is ono. Ono is represented by either he or she, and it is eno. I guess you understand. And with the object position is the same thing. It's ono or eno. But in the object cases, this one is put in parentheses and one. So let's go over this chart. We have the subject and the object. Subject is the doer of the action. In a sentence, if you're asked to explain what the subject is doing something, is the actor. And the object is at the receiving end. The object is what the subject is doing something to. It's the receiver. So we have the persons. We have first person, second person, and third person. As I said earlier, the first person is the person speaking, or the person introducing the conversation, or the person who is actually saying something. So the first person, as in singular, will be me. So that is for the subject. And if I have any other person with me, or if we are many, it's yen. But for the object, it's the same me, and plural is yen. Note the difference between this and this. The subject, first person plural, and the object, first person plural. The n is placed in parentheses. This one, it's almost left like that. And I said this is usually deleted. And so I'll explain more about that when we come to word examples or sentence examples. And with the second person is the hearer, or the person you are talking to. And its singular subject is wo, as in you. And with plural is mo, the same thing, you. In English we have you. You for the subject singular, you for the subject plural, you for subject object singular, and you for object plural. English is the same, you. But in Akan is wo, mo, and wo, mo. Wo is singular, mo is plural. And it's almost the same as the subject and object. But with a third person, you are addressing another person, a third person, somebody who is not actually involved in the conversation. So, ono is he or she. And as I was saying in Akan, we don't distinguish between gender. Talking about third person, subject and object. So no. So ono could be a male or a female, and eno is an inanimate. So we just distinguish between, let's say, animate or inanimate, or should I say, yes, animate and inanimate object. And their plural will be what? One day. So this is he or she, and this is it day. And this ono is also the same thing as in the object case. This is him or her, and eno is also it, and one is them. So it's very easy in Twi to note this personal pronouns and grasp it once and for all. So let's start with some examples. Right, so let's start with some sentence examples. Let's start with the first person subject, the first person singular and plural subject. So with the first person, mereko efuom, meko efuom. This me is the subject, the plural subject, as in I. Reko is the progressive, is the verb. This is the subject, and this is the progressive, the verb, and this is the object. Reko, that is the progressive, is I'm going. I am going to the farm. I'm going to farm. Okay. To the farm. So meko efuom. Me is the subject and reko is the verb. Remember in Akan Twi, we write the subject, the pronouns and the verbs together. The pronouns appearing at the subject position, we write it together with the verbs. So anytime in Akan you are writing the pronoun and the verb in the subject case, make sure personal pronouns and verbs, make sure you put them together. But if you are writing a noun and a pronoun, hey, we separate them. For instance, Kofi is going to school. This is how we write it. Kofi is, you separate it, going to school. In Twi you write Kofi reko, you separate it. Kofi reko efuom. Kofi reko. But if you are putting a pronoun in place of Kofi, you just say oko. Oko, you write it together. Oko efuom. This o represents this third person. Right, you'll get to that. That's why I said this is with the subject, pronouns, and especially with third person, and this ones, the ones I've placed in parentheses, they are usually elicited because of something we call economy of speech. Right, so me, the first example, and yen in the plural, so me ko efuom. The plural will be ye ko efuom. You don't bring the because I don't know whether I should clean the whole board or then put the examples there so that. Okay, so note this and let me clean everything so that. Okay, so let's start some examples, some sentence examples. The first example is as in me. Me ko efuom. Me call efuom is I am going to the farm, right? Me call efuom. So this is the first person singular subject pronoun, me. But remember in Akan Twi, pronouns, personal pronouns and verbs are written together. Personal pronouns and verbs, we write them together. But nouns and pronouns, we separate them. You should note that. So, me ko efuom. This is the subject. This is the verb. And this is the object. Yes, me, as in the first person, record with the progression, and efuom is the object. I guess you understand. All right, so I'm giving you another example. Me frɛ, I'm calling you. I'm calling on you, or something like that. Me frɛ. You see, I've written the subject, this is the subject, and the verb together. Okay. And let's move on to the plural. The plural subject in the first person singular. Ye ko. Instead of me, we will say ye. Ye ko efuom. We are going to the farm. Yereko. It's actually yen reko efuom. This is the subject, this is the verb, and this is the object. But as I was saying, with first person subject plural, with the yen, the is elated. That is why in the chat I did something like this. I placed this in parentheses. So anytime you have a plural first person plural subject, first person personal pronoun in the subjective case, the plural one, you elite the yeba, yedi. It's yen reba, but because of economy of speech, we have to elite this from there. I guess you understand. And let's move on to the object. With the object case, fa mame. Give it to me. Fa mame. This is I. But this me is me. Give it to me. So this me in the object case is what? Me. But in the subject case is what? I. Note that. Fa mami. And with the plural I can say fa mayen. Give it to us. You see, give it to us. With the first example, yereko, as in the subject case, yereko is yen reko. Then we've elicited the because it's happening at the subject position. Yereko efuom. We are going to the farm. But this yen is happening at the object position and there is no deletion. Farmer yen. Give it to us. So note that we are going to the farm and give it to us. So note the difference. Now let's move on to second person. With second person, I've told you it's almost the same. The subject case, singular subject is wo, and the plural subject is mo. The same thing applies to the object case. In the objective case, it's wo, and plural is what? Mo. The same thing. So what recall if he ana is a question. Wo is the subject. Recall is the verb. And this ifye is the what? The object. So with plural I can say mo. Mo ko ifye ana. Wo, this is singular and this is mo, as in you. Mo ko ifye ana. Let's move on to example in the object case. The object case, I could say mede brewo, mede rebre wo. This wo, I'm bringing it to you. This wo is an object singular, and mede bre mo, I'm bringing it to you. The same thing, but this is plural. Mede bre wo, as in singular, just a single person, I'm bringing it to you, just one person. And mede bre mo, I'm bringing it to you, but this you is plural. Do you get it? I've told you with English, the second person in the subject and object case, plural, singular, they are all written as you. The same thing. It's true that it varies a little bit. The singular is wo and the plural is mo. Let's move on to the third person. With the third person, as I was saying, in Akan Twi, we don't distinguish between gender. In English, in personal pronouns, as you can see, we have he, she. For the third person, animate, and the it is inanimate. But in Twi, we don't distinguish between gender. So we have third person, ono, and eno. And this is the subject, and with the object, the plural is what? One. And with the object, we have ono, and this is in parentheses, or eno. And the plural is the same thing, one. But I just want you to know the difference between the subject and the object. You see, with the subject, the o and the e are outside, while the no are placed in parentheses. But with the object, the o and the e are placed in parentheses, and the no is left alone. The reason is that let me just give examples to explain. Oko efuom, oko efuom. Here to replace this in a parenthesis, sorry. Oko efuom. It's actually ono reko efuom. It's ono reko efuom. If this one is deleted, and as you know, I told you earlier, pronouns and verbs, personal pronouns and verbs, you write them together. So oko efum, he is going to the farm. So the plural will be woko, or if it were to be animate, I'll say eko, eno, eko efum, and I'll delete this eko efum. That is, it is going to the farm. For the plural, it will be woko. I'll delete these two. Woko efum. It's one reko efum one, and I've deleted the n. So wo for the subject, reko is the verb, and efum is the object. So woko efum. Let's come to the object position. Okay, jemanu. Jemanu is actually jema or no. Jema or no. And this o here has been deleted in the object position. Give it to him or her. Jemanu. Give it to him or her. Or jemanu. Give it to it. Jema eno is the same thing. You just delete this one and bring the no. But with the plural in the object case, you write it in full. Jemawon. Give it to them. And so this is the third person plural in the object case. And so you have to go over it. Just have to study the chart very well. And if you are conversant with the chart, some of these things will be very easy for you. Just note first person, first person, singular and plural subject, first person singular and plural object, second person singular plural subject, second person singular plural object, finally third person singular plural subject, and third person singular plural object. That's all for pronouns. So just study the charts, and you'll be very, very good in constructing some of these sentences and utterances. Just know your personal pronouns, first person, second and third person, both the singular and the plural in the object and the subject case. Right, thank you so much for watching. Let me end here. My name is Kwaku Kumi. Let's learn Akan Twi. Please subscribe to this channel if you've not yet done so, so that you can get all the notifications on the videos we upload. We are live this and every week here, so that you can ask any question concerning the Akan Twi language. Right, see you in another video.